Welcome to Living Fearless, the podcast where we explore the limitless possibilities of fearless living and personal growth. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Living Fearless. I am your host, Lester Gonzalez, and today we're going to step into a topic that is very close to my heart and in the faith of God Himself. And that, my friends, is stepping out in faith and boldness. Inspired by a powerful Bible verse that I will share with you guys today, we'll just uncover practical insights and inspiring truths to empower you to step into the faith and boldly pursue God's purpose for your life. Stepping out into the faith and boldness is a defining characteristic of our Christian journey, an act of obedience and surrender to God's will and a plan for our lives. It requires courage, conviction, and the willingness to trust in God's promises, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Our focus today is on the story of Peter walking on water, found in Matthew chapter 14, verse 28 through 29. It says, "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. The story serves as a powerful example of stepping out into the faith and boldness. Despite the storm raging around him and the waves crashing beneath his feet, Peter trusted in Jesus' call and stepped out of the safety for the boat into the water. And in that moment of bold obedience, he experienced the miraculous power of God, walking on water and drawing closer to Jesus. Firstly, let's reflect on the courage and conviction displayed by Peter in this story. Despite the fear and doubt that may have plagued his mind, Peter chose to trust in Jesus and took that step of faith. His boldness serves as an inspiring example for us today, reminding us that when we step out in faith and obedience, God will meet us where we are and enable us to accomplish the impossible. Remember, my friends, that God can do the impossible things. But another thing I want to talk about is exploring the role of faith and stepping out into our boldness. You see, faith is such a powerful world. Faith is the catalyst that propels us forward, empowering us to overcome our fears and insecurities and just embrace God's call on our lives. When we place our trust in God's promises and step out in faith, we open ourselves up in the limitless possibilities of His grace and provision. Also, I just want to examine different steps that we could take in building this boldness and faith, especially within our journey. Every one of us has our own journey ahead, and every one of us has these goals, right? But from spending time in prayer and meditation to seeking wise counsel and stepping out of our comfort zones, there are countless ways we can strengthen our faith and courageously just pursue God's purpose in our life. You see, the power of prayer is that first step of faith. But what more in continuing to believe in God? You see, by embracing bold obedience and trusting in God's leading, we can experience the fullness of His blessings and the fulfillment of His promises. I've learned that God will always give you greater things than you could ever imagine. Just give it to Him. And the more you give everything to God, the more you pray and reach out to Him, the more you grow this sense of faith and boldness, He will take you to places that you could never imagine, higher than you could ever dream of. So just overall, stepping out into the faith and boldness is not always easy, because everything we deal with in life, there's always that sense of challenge we go through, that hesitation we have when wanting to take that risk. But I'll tell you right now, in taking that faith and boldness, or when you're taking a risk, keep that faith, because it will always be worth it. Even if it doesn't work out, just know you took that faith, you took that risk, and you were able to learn and grow for it. You wouldn't be going through that situation if God didn't allow it. And as we follow in the footsteps of Peter and trust in Jesus' call, may we find the courage to step out of our comfort zones and just live that abundant life that God promised us. So may we embrace bold obedience, trust in God's provision, and guide every step of the way that we take in our lives. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is all I have for you guys in today's episode. Thank you for joining me on this journey of faith, courage, and obedience. But until next time, may you step out into faith and boldness, trust in God's calling for your life, and experience the miraculous power He has for you. As always, my friends, make sure to leave a like and follow and or subscribe, and have a blessed day.